Okay, good morning. So myself, I am Raviteja. So I have the experience in the teaching as well as I am working as a currently in the data scientist. I have started my own startup too, so which I received the patents in the healthcare healthcare domain, uh, and as well as that is especially purely on the machine learning and deep learning on artificial intelligence. I have started my own startup. Parallelly, currently I'm working in one of the MNC as a data scientist. This is my profile. Um, so here I am here to train the machine learning course. So before I'm going to go to the course content and everything for demo, please subscribe whatever I have sent the link. Please subscribe that I have posted in the chat. Think Praneeth. Praneeth, may could I know your background? Okay, before after that I will. Sir, can you allow him to speak? Madhav sir, can you allow him to speak? You can speak, Praneeth.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
I finished my computer science engineering from CMR College last year in 2021.
Okay,
So for the past 8 to 10 months, I completed my training on front-end web development, sir.
okay, fine.
Due to this decision, I'm not able to um, get any jobs, so I'm trying to learn any other things like machine learning right now. So I have some basic knowledge in machine learning also. I did
Okay,
some mini project in my college
okay,
using linear regression to detect breast cancer. That
okay.
more knowledge is available from this. That's it, sir.
So myself, I am a trainer on different technologies, like different courses, like in the Python, I used to train the students. So currently in the Go Online trainings also, the Python batch is going on. So that is the first course. And second course I use, that is statistics for data science. So which is most essential for data science, not only for machine learning or deep learning, whatever it may be. So the statistics part will be covered in both the courses, machine learning as well as deep learning. And later, so which we have the other courses like I used to taught the AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, as well as Azure, that is both are cloud related services, AWS and Azure. So another I also can train in the AWS DevOps, and next course I can start the like ML ops. So current trending, whatever the machine learning which we are doing currently, instead of doing the Python in the sequential way, so everyone is used to implement nowadays, which is in the booming technology, all the machine learning which is implemented through pipelining stage. So that is called as ML ops. So where we can have a separate course that is ML ops, Even in this course also MLOps will be covered. That is just of the flavor of the MLOps, what it is required for machine learning. And later, other courses also I used to train. That is in the deep learning, artificial neural networks, convolutional neural networks, as well as NLP, natural language processing. So these are the separate courses. This entire module, deep learning, will call. That is a artificial neural networks, convolutional neural networks, as well as natural language processing. All these three comes into the one section, which is under the artificial intelligence. So all these covered in the separate course. And even the separate modules also will be covered as a separate courses, like the computer vision separate course, NLP separate course. And apart from all these, even we have separate course, that is the Python, only the Python programs. So if you have the basic knowledge and if you have the know the all the skills on what are all the concepts which are related to Python, if you know, so separate program will be there, that is the Python. Only in that course we won't cover the basics, just covering all the Python programs. Nearly 300 plus programs will be covered in that course. So which are asked in most of the MNCs and companies, that is for the written exam, written test, the first round of an interview. So that all questions will be covered in that course. That is exclusively special course. So this is coming to our machine learning course. So what are all we have covering? So I will show all the document. We'll cover the thing one by one. Think the screen is visible now. So first we'll cover the Python essentials. That is what are all the necessary. So if we want to develop something that is in the like machine learning, so we need some skill, we need some language. That is Python. Here we are implementing everything that is in the Python language. So whatever we are applying, like machine learning, before I'm going to tell what is machine learning, why the machine learning is especially the most important, why we have to learn this machine learning. Before that, I want to tell that what are all the course contents which is covered in this course. So the something language should be required for doing some programming. So where we are covering in this course is Python. So what are the essentials for data science? What are the libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn? Just will give an overview of Python. So in 10 to 15 classes, that is module 1. And coming to module 2, where we are going for descriptive and inferential statistics. So we are going to know, we have to know the statistics. So before applying any kind of models, okay, is it visible what I am showing to you? So where descriptive and inferential statistics. So descriptive and inferential statistics, where it will be covered, that is what are all the statistics which is should be required for data science, that is like If you want to, there are so many kind of data sets will be there. In the data sets, we have so many kind of variables. So what is the impact on those variables? How much importance of that variable? What is the relationship between any of those two variables? Such kind of things, if you want to know, the statistics is the most essential part to learn the machine learning as well as deep learning. So the statistics concepts, which are all covered, what are all the necessary for the data science, which will be covered from the scratch. Even you don't know the basics of mean, median, and mode, all will be covered from the scratch. The what is meant by descriptive, what is inferential statistics, all will be covered in detail way. So next, that is one is future engineering. If you want to apply the machine learning model, want to apply some machine learning models, like I think we have come across so many models in and somewhere. That is like linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, ADA boost, gradient boosting, XGBoost, SVM. Like that, we have come across so many algorithms. So by seeing in the Python, writing the single line, applying one line, and applying the model, that is not a machine learning. So machine learning mainly, applying model is nothing but writing the single line in Python. That is not sufficient to do the machine learning thing. Whatever the predictions, what we are referring to get, it is not sufficient. So the main thing is we have to know how to do use the future engineering, future selection, all we should have to know before applying the model. So what are all the necessary features, or what are the features which are required? What are all the features we have to give in the model for applying? So all these things will be covered. That is future engineering. And machine learning, supervised learning. We have in the machine learning, there are two kinds of learning. That is supervised learning as well as unsupervised learning. So what is so everything will be told practical way in the Python. Theoretical will be covered just only 10 to 15% of the day of the entire class, and remaining most of the time we'll see everything in practical way only. That is, in the statistics, we'll go in theoretical way. Even the statistics where it will be used in the machine learning, whenever we are applying the models, there I will show how to apply the statistics. So before, if you want to apply something related to statistics on the models, we have to know first we have to be very strong in theoretical. So that's why in the statistics I'll be covered most of the time in the module 2 will be in the purely on theoretical way. So whenever if you are strong completely in the statistics, then we will go for the machine learning. So in the machine learning, all these algorithms will be covered. That is linear regression, logistic regression in module 5. These are all supervised learning. Decision tree, random forest, ADA boost, gradient boosting, XGBoost. And coming to module 6 will be covered SVM naive Bayes. And this is a PCA. From here, it will start from the going to the unsupervised learning. That is, PCA is one of the dimensional reduction technique, that is principal component analysis. So where will be covered in detail what is PCA, why exactly why it is useful, everything will be covered. Next one came in clustering, hierarchical clustering, DB scan clustering, all will be covered. That is an unsupervised learning techniques will be covered in detail. So time series and forecasting, that is like the stock price prediction. I think you know, weather forecasting, all these things which can be done with the help of by using this only, time series and forecasting. That is cloud deployment. So we'll whatever we are applying some model, that is machine learning. So we'll deploy the entire project in any of the cloud platform. That is either AWS or Azure or GCP or any of the cloud. We'll choose any of the cloud platform and we'll deploy our machine learning model into the cloud. So this is a cloud deployment. Next one is MLOps. We'll introduce the MLOps concept. So why it is useful, how the entire machine learning before we used to have DevOps team. So development team and operation team will be having separate teams will be there. Nowadays, it is the communication which is the entire project which is going through some pipelining stage. Every stage is going through an automated way. In a similar way, whatever we are applying the model, and it will go in an automated way, that is an MLOps. So all these things, automated way, how it will be going, everything will be seeing in detail way. So before going to start, I have told so much course content. I think maybe you may get or you may not get whatever the course content, whatever I thought up to now. So before going to the course content, already I have given the overview of course content, whatever I'm going to thought in this course. Next one, I want to give what is machine learning. Generally, so always you think in respective about human only. In this course, whatever we are learning, always you think with respect to human. Machine learning. Instead of machine learning, in your mind, you should have to get as human learning. Okay. So if you are thinking in that way, the course is very, very easy. So many used to tell that this course is somewhat complicated, like machine learning and artificial intelligence. This is not at all tough. This is the most easiest course compared to all other courses. First of all, whatever you are going to learn in the course, always you think that as you are a human, and even you are, I think if you have a small kids, if you have a small kid, like 1 year child or 2 year child, if you think that if we want make him to train, so what we will do, we will start him teaching the kind of alphabets in their mother tongue, in English language. We used to tell, we used to train him like that way, and we used to show some objects. This is rat, this is cat, this is a bike, this is car. Like that, we used to train the child. Like any infant, if you take 1 year child or 2 year child, we used to train that person in that way. In the similar way, here also we used to have to train the mission in such a way. We have to keep in your mind that as we are training as child, some child is there, that child only, it is mission. That is what you are doing, what you are doing some program in the mission, that is called as a mission. So that mission itself, you assume that it is a child. So you are training the child. How you are training the child in real time? In the similar way, you are training the mission in that way. So mission is always, you should have to keep in your mind as that, as it is child. If you think in that way, so it will be very easy. You won't feel a kind of any difficulty. So this is the thing I want to give the first hint before starting our course. And next one is machine learning. How the human will learn in the similar way. Suppose for newborn child only we will take. I will show some pain. Based on that, you can get an idea. Suppose if you are taking like this, some colors. Like these colors are there. If we take like these colors, here this is an orange, this is a green. Some new point it came. Some new point it came. And based on that, so we ask any child that is before 1 year, 2 year child up to 2 years, if you consider. And you have separated here in this one, in one group. This is one group and this is another group. Okay, when new point came, so I asked the child that, so this point we should belongs to this group or this group. I'll ask the child. By seeing the color, by seeing our vision itself, simply he'll tell that this point belongs to this group. So without thinking twice also, without thinking twice, by seeing visibility of colors itself, he will simply tell that this point belongs to this group based on the color. So this is kind of the patterns. This is a pattern. So where the pattern, that is the points which lie in the left side and the points another group which lie in the right side. So based on the kind of pattern, so we can tell that this, whatever the new point it is coming, so it belongs to either of to orange or it belongs to green. The similar way, the mission also will think that in the similar way. So that new point belongs to in which direction, in which way. Either it belongs to orange or it belongs to green. Like that, it can tell everything. So the machine learning is just, it is able to do some kind of predictions. So whatever the thing is there, suppose we take some data, instead of taking the definition and giving an meaning, so I will taking an examples and showing everything to you, then it will be easy. No need to by heart or no need to remember a definition exactly. What exactly, what the machine learning it will do, why the name it came, I'm telling now. Suppose if you take the data, I think we'll take one COVID. I think everyone at present scenarios from COVID 2019 onwards, we are hearing the disease as COVID. So that person, whoever we are going to take some XYZ person, or whoever it may be. So we want to tell that if that person is going to get COVID or not. So we have to tell based on the some past historical conditions, based on his symptoms, whatever it may be. Based on that, mission has to predict, mission has to tell whether he will get COVID or not. That is yes or no. Yes or no. How it will take? So it will be considering some parameters. Based on the some parameters, the mission able to tell that whether he got the COVID or not. That what are the parameters? Some based on some input conditions. Suppose if we are going to, if we want to go to office from XYZ place to your office. If you want to go from XYZ place to your office, that is from your home to office. In the office, sometimes you take an historical data. That is, every day you have to record that whether you came to office within the time or not. That is yes or no, you have to tell. So every day you used to give the predictions as, so this COVID, already I told no, this I will tell. So based on this example, I will relate to this COVID. Once you see here, this is an office. So this is office where you are going to tell that you have to record the data, whether you are going to come to office within the time or not. Within the time, it indicates an yes. If you are not coming to the office within the time, then it indicates as no. So what are the parameters to come to the office within the time? So that, can you tell what are the parameters? So that is starting of the office within the time, that is in your home. So here I will take. So whether to coming to the office within the time or not, you have to tell. So based on what are all the parameters you will be telling, coming to the office, yes or no. So you have to start every day at particular time. Start every day at particular time. You should have to know. So at what time you have to start, and traffic conditions and weather. Like this, so many parameters are there. Suppose if you are seeing in the Bengaluru, so always used to have heavy rains in the morning and evenings. So due to some weather conditions, we go to office very late. And even the traffic also might get stuck somewhere. And in some places, traffic is clear. In some places, traffic is very busy. So all these kind of parameters we have to consider. Based on all these parameters, we used to record our data every day. That is, we are coming to office within the correct time or not. That is yes or no. So that is again new data is coming. Based on whatever the new data is coming, new data, the mission should be able to predict that whether the person will come to office today within the time or not, based on some new data, or based on some XYZ factor, based on some new joinees joining in our office. We will record all his statement. So whether in your whether he started at the uh, home in the correct time or not. So how many kilometers he have to travel. So what is the traffic from some XYZ area to some ABC area? What is the weather condition? We'll be asking everything from him. So based on that, the mission should be able to predict that whether it is able to get yes or no. So in order to predict that yes or no, by seeing this data, our humans can tell, so this person will come to office, yes, within the time. So based on all the previous parameters which we taken, and based on the new parameters what we are going to take, based on previous parameter and based on this previous data, we can tell that with the existing data, he will come to office within the time. That is yes. By seeing the data itself, we understand the pattern. How how this person will come to the office within the time or not. The mission cannot able to understand. So mission how, by seeing itself it cannot know. So in order to understand exactly, in order to predict exactly what we are going to do, we are using some kind of mathematical expression or mathematical equation. With the help of the mathematical expression or equation, we are able to, mission is able to do the prediction. By seeing such kind of data, our humans can able to tell. Or by seeing such kind of, before I have drawn some colors. That is based on that some colors itself, whatever the new point I am taking, it can able to tell. So which group it belongs to. But by the mission, it cannot tell. So the mission should have to tell means it has to take with the help of a mathematical expression. Based on mathematical expression only, it can able to tell that whether it belongs to some XYZ class or ABC class. Unless if it doesn't have the mathematical expression, it cannot able to tell. This is a mission. This is not a human. Humans can tell that by seeing the data. So if so, which it belongs to, which it class it belongs to. But for the mission, it is difficult. Am I getting what I'm saying? Some new person joining, Ravi. Could you please answer? Yeah, so always used to think that we are training the some human, some infants. So infants is nothing but one like childs, 1 year, 2 year born child. How we are treating them in the similar way. You have to treat the mission while learning the mission learning course. You have to treat the mission also in that same way. So whatever it is going to predict, whatever it is going to tell, whatever it is showing the answers for you, whatever it is able to doing the predictions for you. So everything, the mission is similar to like the child. So we are treating the mission as humans should have able to think in that way. How the humans is able to think and giving the fast response in the short amount of time. In the similar way, the mission should also have to able to give the response in the short amount of time. So that in order to give that response in the short time, so the mission should have to understand what the data is. So unless it doesn't understand what the data is, it is entirely in the form of a numerical data. So between the numerical data, some relation should be there. So unless if it does not understand the relationship between that numerical data, we know the traffic condition, that weather, we know that is our humans. By seeing itself, we can understand. So the traffic, weather conditions. So in order to reach to the office within the time or not, we'll be telling by yes or no. Simply by yes or no, we can tell. But the missions cannot tell by seeing the data directly. So it should have to, we should have to reach to the mission in order to get to understand the each and every variable. So in order to understand the relationship between all those variables, we have to, we are bringing here is the mathematical relationship that is in the form of an equation. So unless if you don't bring in this into the form of an equation, so missions cannot know the relationship between those variables. So that is bringing an equation, learning and keeping the data itself is machine learning. That is where the different algorithms comes into picture. Linear regression, logistic regression, each and every algorithm has separate equations. Only that mathematical expression, mathematical equation itself, which comes into the big picture. So algorithm equation will get changed. Why these different algorithms came? Why different equations we have to study? If only one algorithm is sufficient, no? for getting prediction, you may have that doubt. So if you are going to see the pattern of the data, see here, suppose if you are going to take some another file, I'm going to take. Some data is there like this. Okay. So this is where this data is get separated. This data is get separated with the line, single line. That is, the data is get separated linearly. So by seeing this, by single line, it is get separated. All the data, this different data is getting to the one side, this different data is getting to other side. By single line itself, it is going to get separated two different data types. Then you can say that it is linearly separated. But if the data is in the form of a zigzag fashion, like this, so like this, if the data is there, how can you separate? If the data is in that way, we cannot get a single expression, no? Single mathematical expression which cannot be sufficient to get separated between these two data. So in order to see here, there are two different data types. So if any human, suppose you Ravi is there, I think you Ravi and Prasad. So Ravi and Prasad, if I ask, by giving two different data types, that is blue data and violet data, I have given like this. And I ask you to separate both the different data. How you will do? Yeah, I will tell that. First, before you, so I have given this two different data. So two different data I have given. So whenever I have given two different data, so I have made this data in this side. I have made this data into other side. If I given the two data, if any human, if I ask, if I ask them to separate, how they will do? Simply they will draw a line, single line. By drawing a line, so this side is blue color data, this side it is violet color data. You are able to tell by seeing the different colors, you are able to separate. Then system cannot understand all these things. So how you are going to separate with the single line, this line equation itself we are going to study. That line the line equation itself we are calling as a linear equation. That is y equal to mx plus c. Based on that equation only, we are going to separate the two different categories. Like that, we are used to study different things like linear regression, logistic regression. So each and every algorithm has separate requirement. So linear regression is only for the predicting the regression values, that is numerical values. That is not, it is not able to tell that yes or no. This is not like a categorical value. Linear regression always which predicts the numbers. So what is the cost of a price in 2023? If you want to predict if you are living in the house, if you want to predict the what is the cost of the house in 2023. So it will be predicting in the numbers. So if you are going to tell in terms of numbers, numeric values, then linear regression will be useful. So linear regression, where we'll be studying like that. Logistic regression is for the classification. So where we want to predict that whether it is yes or no. So whether we have to classify. So whether he will come tomorrow or not, whether the person is having cancer or not, based on the different readings, different different tests which has performed, based on the test which is performed. So whether he got the cancer or not, whether like that. So we have to predict yes or no. That is kind of categories. So before telling what is categories, what is numeric variable, what is numeric data type, what is ordinal, all will be seen in detail in the statistics. If you know that all the definitions in detail statistics, so it will be easy for you. So these are all algorithms which are predefined, linear regression, logistic regression, which are not defined, which we cannot change anything. So which are already predefined algorithms only. So algorithm is a where it is a set of specifying rules, set of specify rules. So we have to follow in that way. So in order to get the correct prediction. So that is an algorithm following the specifying set of rules. That set of rules only, each algorithm which we have different algorithms like linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, already which are predefined algorithms. So in order to improve the accuracy, in order to reach out to accuracy. So most of the things, if you are going to see in XGBoost regressor or XGBoost classifier, we are used to get the highest accuracy generally, not exact every time we will get the XGBoost only. Generally we used to get, in order to improve more than XGBoost, you can introduce any new algorithm by your own. That is by improving accuracy or by introducing some techniques which will improve the accuracy. So that is the algorithm which we are going to use. Also we got in that way. Also we the improve the accuracy based on one student research fellow, that is who have participated in the Kaggle competition. That is Kaggle competitions are there. That is machine learning. So we got an idea and implemented the XGBoost algorithm, where most of every persons are using nowadays to in order to get the improve the more accuracy. So all these things will be covered. Just I gave an introduction. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Last 10 minutes, 5 minutes are there. You can ask me.